If you're looking for an affordable set of replacement headlights for your 13 or 14 Mustang with the benefit of some added accent lighting, then you should definitely check out the Raxium Halo projectors that we have here today. Now the Raxiums will combine a factory style black housing with a crystal clear lens along with the built-in halos, all for around the mid to high $300 price point. Install will require removal of the front bumper, so therefore the site is going to go with a middle of the road 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and call this a couple of hours to complete from start to finish, as we'll demonstrate later in the video. So the factory headlights in your 13 and 14 Mustang are no doubt one of the nicest to ever grace a stock Mustang. However, they're not exactly cheap to replace. So if your stockers got somehow banged up or are faded beyond repair, the Raxiums that we're talking about here today are certainly, I think, going to be an attractive replacement due to the low price point alone. But on top of the affordable price, I really like how the Raxiums are going to stick to a very similar recipe to that of your factory lights, at least at first glance. However, once these things fire up, they really set themselves apart from those factory lights thanks to the additional accent lighting, which is going to include things like the unique running bars on the side, and of course the centerpiece, in my opinion, are going to be those halos wrapping around your projector. Now these accents do illuminate with an extremely bright white light thanks to modern LEDs, and can run by themselves if your parking lights are switched on, or also in conjunction with your headlights for a very full, very bright effect. The housings are going to again combine that black ABS plastic build with the chrome reflector and are topped off with a crystal clear polycarbonate lens, which has been sealed up tight to prevent any fogging or moisture from entering. Now the Raxiums are going to be sold in pairs and will reuse your factory HID ballast and bulbs. But now let's segue into the installation as promised earlier. And again guys, that bumper does need to come off in order to access all of the necessary bolts for removal. Outside of that, you can expect a pretty straightforward job. So without further ado, feel free to check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown now.
Tools for this install: an electric ratchet or ratchet, a 10, 8, and 7 millimeter socket, a T15 Torx bit, a screwdriver, and a pop clip removal tool. Go ahead and grab your 7 millimeter socket, and we are gonna get the chin splitter taken off. Now normally we would have a series of 7 millimeter bolts along the bottom side of the splitter. However, our Mustang is a bit weathered, so we only have a few, but we'll get those removed. Now with all of your bolts removed, the air dam from the splitter should just come on down. Now that you have access to your marker lights, go ahead and get them removed from the bumper. Just a counterclockwise twist, and we'll repeat that on the other side. Now focusing on the wheel well, we're gonna go ahead and remove the 3 7 millimeter bolts that we have at the front end holding the bumper onto the Mustang. Take your 7 millimeter and get them unbolted. And once we get them removed, we'll repeat that on the other side. Grab your trim removal tool and get the series of pop clips out of the top of the rad cover. You're gonna start by pulling the top portion up and bringing the bottom portion out. With all your pop clips removed, you can now remove your radiator cover. Now with your radiator cover removed, that's going to expose a set of 4 bolts along the top of the grill. That's going to call for a 8mm socket. Go ahead and grab that and get these unbolted. Now with all of your hardware removed from the top of the bumper, we're going to go ahead and get it removed. We'll start at the wheel well. Go ahead and pull the bumper from the wheel well. Now before taking the bumper completely off, go ahead and unplug your fog light harnesses. Do the same with the other side. Grab your trim removal tool and get the air sensor taken off of the grill. Now with your bumper removed, we have the big reveal of the bolts that are holding the headlight on. We're gonna go ahead and take our 10mm and get these bolts removed. Be sure to disconnect your headlight harnesses before you pull too far. And we'll repeat the same on the other side. Now with your stock headlight out, we can take the opportunity to take parts that we need from our stock headlight, including the ballast and the actual HID light. We're gonna start with our 15 Torx bit and get the ballast taken off. Again, with your T15 Torx bit, start removing the 4 bolts from the bottom side of the ballast. Make sure to keep that hardware because we are going to be retaining that for the new headlight. With the bolts removed, take out the ballast and get the harness unplugged from the back side of it. With the ballast now removed, we can work on getting the actual light out. This is going to be a twist on the back side of the housing to expose our light. From there, we will take our Phillips head screwdriver and get the light out of the housing. Make sure to take the harness that was connecting from the ballast to the actual HID light because we will be retaining that as well. With your ballast, light, and harness removed from the stock headlight, go ahead and open up your new one. Grab your Phillips head screwdriver again so we can undo the bracket that is going to hold in your HID. Place your HID in the new light. Get your bracket back in place and screw that back down. plug in your light harness and feed it to the side where the ballast is going to go. Plug your ballast back in. And get it bolted to the new headlight. Again, that is going to be your T15 Torx bit. Get the light housing closed back up. A simple lock and twist clockwise. With your parts now transferred into the new housing, go ahead and get them plugged into your harnesses, and then we can bolt them back onto the Mustang. Grabbing your 10mm bolts, just hand thread them in for now. Grab your 10mm socket and tighten the bolts down. And we'll go ahead and repeat that process on the other light. All right, now that your headlights are in place, we can now start getting our bumper back onto our Mustang. Now for this step, I would grab a buddy, that way they can hold it up while you get your harness plugged in for your side marker light as well as your fog light. Reinstall the 4 bolts on top of the grill. And again, using your 8mm socket, tighten them down. Now we can place our radiator cover back up top and reinstall our pop clip. And replace your 3 bolts in the front of the fender liner. Again, this is going to call for your 7mm socket. And repeat that on the other side. And replace the bolts in your splash guard. Again, this is using a 7mm socket. And that's going to wrap it up for our review and install of the Raxium LED halo projector headlights with black housing and clear lens, fitting your 13 and 14 Mustang with HID headlights. For more videos just like this, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.